You can just stand around this tree. You can just go around this tree. I think just we move a little bit back. Just a little bit back, sorry. Anybody else coming? I think we are. They are coming. Just that. Sorry. First of all, let me just introduce myself. I am Benjamin Gibenge. I live here in Livingstone. Last week I attended the coronation of Lady Tunga and we are there for 3 days. My title here is ambassador, but I want to remove it for the simple reason that I was appointed as honorary Induna. So how nice is it really to talk to your Induna here? I'm sure it must be very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I think the issue of the environment is very, very important, and you will never do away with it. If you do away with it, then we are done. We are planting seven. We are planting only 7 trees, just to symbolize that you came here for this particular workshop. When you are here in Livingstone, you say, yes, we had a workshop, and there is also the trees that we planted. That is the only reason. Now, when you are planting a tree, there are 3 W's that you must consider. The first W is what type of a tree do you want to plant, the type. The next one is where do you want to plant, and the other one is why do you want to plant. Those 3 are very, very important because if you miss any one of them, you'll be landing yourself into some very serious problems because trees come in so many shapes. They are big trees, they are small trees, they are tall, they are big, and so on. Some trees have got tap roots which go down, some trees have got sideways roots, some trees have got roots that you may even find on top of your roof. So I think it is important that you do that. The type of trees is very, very important. I think we are standing under a tree which is not a Zambian. We are standing under a flamboyant tree. This is a flamboyant tree which you only find in Madagascar. So they brought it here because they are fast growing and so on. But it's not ours. And that's why what we are going to plant today is our own tree, a Zambian tree. Because I don't believe that we must be colonized through the trees that we get from outside. I know 1 or 2 of us must have planted an umbrella tree. Who planted an umbrella tree here, please? Just put up. You have. Somebody else? Number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6. We are many. Why do we plant an umbrella tree? It looks beautiful, isn't it? It's nice shape. A very nice shape. But you know, the British say, not all that glitters is gold. Umbrella tree is not gold. What is the problem with it? The problem is because it's got layers. It will not stop any wind. Wind will just pass through. It will not stop any dust because that dust will still pass through. It's got roots that go sideways. If you plant it next to your wall, next to your house, it will break. Look at that tree very closely. It is even rare that you find a lizard, a chameleon, a snake, and a bird go into that tree because those things need our tree. You know, unless if we say, God, you gave us wrong trees. Do we want to say that? No, no. God gives us specific trees for specific areas. That's why we have a mubuyu, for example. If you eat a mubuyu fruit this time, it will give you the energy. Because that is the environment for mubuyu and the other trees. If you go to Western, if you go to North, if you go to Chipata, the trees are different because of those different weather patterns. And that is what we need to do. So we must discourage ourselves as much as possible from planting these exotic trees. The oxygen that they give us is not the same as what you get from our indigenous trees. Why do you want to plant a palm? A palm will only drop a leaf after 3 years. Is that what you are looking for? No. Our trees will drop leaves in many times, because that is what you get to make the soil rich. That is what you use to plant your trees. Are we together? So it is very, very important that we look at those issues. Charcoal is everywhere. And it is very, very sad, because what else can we do? I think we need, you people are new. You are new councillors. Can we change the way of doing things? I'm sorry I dashed, because I wanted to bring you three different charcoal burners. There is a charcoal burner which has got only one hole. You have a little door which you can open and you close. When you need more heat, you open. When you want less, you close. But the one that you are using now, you finish a lot of charcoal because you can't control it. So I think my idea, your idea should be that we must give ourselves a period to say that improved charcoal burner we are going to use for 30 years to come. After 30 years, government must say no more charcoal. By that time, we should have found other alternative. Zimbabwe don't produce charcoal. Namibia doesn't. South Africa doesn't. So why should we be the ones to give them charcoal when they don't produce? Is that right? Is that fair? It is not fair. That's why we're finishing our forest. Because to take a bag of charcoal across there, they make so much money. But I think many of us will not. Please, I think when they arrest me for making noise, please come and get me out of the prison. No, look, I'm going to be very, very aggressive, and I'll do things the way they're supposed to be done. Because that is what the president has said. There's no two way about it. So I think this is what we expect you to do wherever you go. Now, we are planting, where's my tree? This is Kaya Nyayasika. What does Kaya mean? That's a botanical name? It is a botanical name. This is Kaya Nyayasika. The story is, there was a biologist who went to Eastern Province, and he was trying to identify trees in the bush. He got these dull chaps from Chipata, three of them, and he was asking, we have a Chipata person here. So what? You can be here, I'll still yell at you. They went into the bush and they were asking them, what type of tree is this? What type of, but when they came to this one, all of them were saying Kaya, meaning I don't know. So that is how this Muzungu named this tree Kaya Nyayasika. This is our indigenous trees. For me, who comes from the north, from Luapula, we use this tree for making canoes, because it is very, very hard, and you can find it sometimes along the rivers and so on. It is also very good for timber because it's quite hard. So this is Kaya Nyayasika. Now, if you look at my hole is not round. The reason is the roots in here are doing what? They are going round. So for me to break that thinking, do trees think? Do you think trees think? That's a natural response. Just necessary. You know, that must be some thinking in a way. Because if trees don't think, how do they reproduce? Because they have babies also, isn't it? They have fruits, they've got flowers, they know where to get water, and so on. That is a way of thinking. It's not like ours, but it is. So I think that is what we are trying to do. That is all. That's why I make a corner building, just to break that. Now, when you are planting, because sometimes it is very, very hot, that's why I've put a bit of compost at the bottom, so that when you don't give them water, at least the grass there will be able to hold a bit of moisture. That is the only reason. If you have manure, please put one shovel of manure, one shovel of soil, and keep on mixing until the thing is full. Then you can plant. Is that okay?
Maybe just to find out,
Yes, sir.
after we plant here, are there any measures of sustaining it to since it's too small? Is someone going to take care of it?
Yes, what I've done is I have talked to our friends at the filling station, and I've also talked to this school here, and I agree about that they'll be able to look after the trees. And you are right, because planting is the simplest, but looking after something is very difficult. Yeah, there's something with the babies. There's no point in just having babies that you can't look after. Then you don't even try. And what I've also done is, if you look at my soil, I've separated the soil. because the soil that comes from the top is different from the one that comes down. The top one is the one that holds a lot of food and things like that. So that's why I want to separate it. And when we are planting, then you have to start with the soil that you think is the better soil because it's already got enough nutrients. That's why we separate the soil. Yes, sir. The idea is, like I was saying, we are going to get rid of all these stupid trees that settlers planted here. We are cutting all of them, and we are going to replace them with our own trees. That is the idea. When it reaches to about height, then we can cut those, and so that these ones can grow. That's what we want.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I also understand that they adapt according to the environment. You say this type of the tree it is mostly found near
Along the
river.
rivers, yes.
Now, when you put it here, what is it going to grow very well?
Well, it will grow, but not as good as it would grow on its natural surrounding. That's what will happen. But I can assure you it will grow because if you go to the civic center, there are two trees, huge trees, they're about this, and it is the same soil, and they're growing very well. If you go behind the museum, there are about four of them and so on. They'll still grow. It is just like getting a masuko from the other side and plant here, but the fruit tree may not even give you the fruits. If it gives you the fruits, they will not be as sweet as the origin where they come from. I think that's what happens. So which one can I use? This one looks with food. So I should be able to use this one. Sorry, there's going to be a bit of dust. Hey, Inshallah.
But are you not almost filling it up?
Yes, because when you put water, it will sink a little bit because of that grass we have put at the bottom. Yes.
I think you are Messiah Basia.
Chief.
Basia Messiah. Mongo. Basia Messiah. Hey.
A bit down. Sorry? A bit down. I put it a bit down. The tree, it's okay. It will go down a little bit. I'm not planting yet. Okay. Because I'm not going to plant. Somebody else has to plant. I've planted too many things here.
Okay. So it is just a demonstration.
It's just a demonstration. You are going to plant.
So when I plant it, you name it after.
Yes. With your name, of
My
course.
name?
Yes. It will be Kaya with your name. Is that okay? Yeah, that should be fine. There are two ways of planting. You can plant with a plastic. You can plant without a plastic. Yes. Where you suspect the termites, then you plant with a plastic. Because termites always move around this area looking for food and so on. So you plant it with your plastic. Also, if you find that your soil is too soft, because if you open, then it will break. So in this case, then you should plant it with a plastic. Who's going to plant the first one? Yeah, well, if you are planting with a plastic, then you remove the bottom.
Give the mayor.
Not that me, I want to go. So let me plant it this one.
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to.
But you see that one.
So the next one should be Siom. This is that one. Yeah.
I also planted.
How many plants do you want to plant?
I have 7.
Me, I'll plant one.
There are 7.
Monday should be also organized.
There you go. After the circle, right there. Yes, that is good. And
There was no need to pour a bit of water down there.
we can put. There's no problem. There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Everything's done it like that.
Do we have water nearby?
From the
He has
filling
said that to
station.
the filling station and they will take care of it.
No, no, no. Don't worry about water. When you're gone, before I go, I'll water all of them. Yes.
Okay. Done?
More. We have more so that we can make it. The bigger the dish, the more water. The less the dish, then you'll be putting very little water. So better to make it just slightly bigger. And one thing that I forgot to mention is if you plant this tree and you put your soil up to there,
Mm-hmm.
it is very likely that it is going to rot.
Okay.
So, yes, so you must make sure that it is level with that soil.
Uh-huh.
But if you plant muguyu, for example, because muguyu you can cut a cutting and plant it to grow. It's like moringa and things like that. But this one, you have to be very careful, otherwise it may rot.
Okay.
I think this is okay. Your worship, the water. Please put on the water. Put it on there so that cameraman doesn't. But please, if you can, when you go back, your worship, can you stop your town from planting umbrella?
No,
It will make us, because that thing is also invasive. The more you have, it will just multiply, and at the end of the day, our trees will not be there. I haven't told them here. What I'm doing is, I'm just telling you. What I do is I go around and remove the bark at the bottom so that people don't see me. Eventually, that tree it will dry.
The umbrella.
Yes.
the umbrellas I
Where does
planted
the
back
umbrella
home,
tree
I
germinate
removed
from?
all of them.
It's actually from Asia.
Is it, there is a myth that when you plant umbrella, there is a bad luck that comes to you. Is it true?
For me, who is saying no umbrella, I say yes, it is true.
You are just saying because you don't like umbrella.
Yes, I removed all of them.
I think, your worship, if you have a business card,
Oh, yeah.
give me your business card because I've got details about umbrella tree. Then I can send it to you.
Unless you just say
The number, yes. Yes.
Just give us your number.
I will. My number is 097
097
41
41
39
39
868.
868.
That's right. Yes, yes, sure. The other one, I don't even have to be with you when you are planting the other one. Because you're supposed to know what you're supposed to do. Yes, yes. Manure is already there.
I can plant the other one.
Yes, yes, yes. You can go plant that one. They are just two shovels. They are just two shovels. Or you can wait for the other one. I think we can use this shovel for the other way. So how many there are? Four. One, two, three, four. There are seven. There are seven. We have some more on that island there. Oh. Yes. I think the diameter then. Did you remove this? Oh, yes, there is no, you've removed the plastic at the bottom. No, no, it's better you remove it. Okay. Yeah. If you can just remove the whole plastic. Oh. If you are not going to break the soil. There you go. What's the one? There you go. Too many things. Assistance. This one is almost done. Mm-hmm.
This is not the first tree you're planting, are you? It's not, eh?
No,
You've done perfectly well, like an expert.
I am. I think I'm done.
Okay, just a moment. We'll take another picture.
Okay.
What
You're a team?
water for you?
What are you